Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep it somewhat brief, but if it takes long, it's gonna take however long it takes. We're gonna get it out. All right. So originally, I wasn't really sure if I was gonna do this, but I got to thinking, and I'm like, you know what? This is really this whole field, everything about it, and the people behind this project is very underappreciated, because I think this is a love project. This is the amalgamation of many brilliant people's lives work, you know. And for that, I have to say I'm actually extremely grateful. And maybe the best place to start is to just get real. I mean, how many apps are there in the world, and what do they actually do for you at the end of the day? You know, backtrack. For me, it all started, I would say, somewhere between trying to manifest my best life and the pandemic coming in, throwing curveballs all over the place, and me as a music producer, I got really curious into like sound healing the body. I'm like, okay, that's a thing. That sounds pretty cool. I'm finding a community of people who are mastering that, and I'm like, wow, okay, like how do people not know about this? You know? So I'm doing my research. Meanwhile, everybody's getting sick around me, and I've always been a fan of natural, non-invasive methods of healing, staying healthy, and finding this was like a game changer. I got it initially because I wanted to help friends, I wanted to help family, many of whom were really deep into social programming. Like, Mm, didn't really think much of it at first, just because, it's new, it's different. It didn't really take me serious. So over time, I would use it on myself, and I'd explain what it does, and speaking to others and to what others were experiencing. You know, they would get curious and be like, you know, how did you do that? How did you know that? You know? And I'd be like, I've been trying to tell you, listen up, listen up. So, right off the bat, it helped me get over things like flus, things that would have taken maybe like 3, 4 days to heal. I got over in a day, you know, headaches, different things, detoxing various things. Speaking of detoxing, I would say I definitely learned a lot about when not to run detox frequencies. Like if you're out in public and you ain't got nothing around, like, and you are not in the comfort of your own toilet and home in your zone, your space, your safe space, and you are near like porta potties and different things, don't run detox frequencies. I was feeling risky that day, and let's just say was not a good idea. Everything turned out okay, but I quickly learned. I was like, there's something to this. There's something to this, you know? And I feel like, to another point, it's very easy to take for granted. It's very easy to take for granted. Like once you're feeling better, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. There's a lot of stuff that I worked on with myself that I'm like, I should have wrote down. But I didn't in the moment, and now it's like I forgot, completely forgot, you know. And I think, I mean, aside from things like I've been working on my heart, working on my liver, working on, I don't know, just energy. I would say money magnetizing, different things. It's like these things are all part of a bigger mentality shift. Where I feel like the entire mentality of using a genius, it takes you from literally being an average person to you're working at levels of higher knowledge. And I think if anything, if take away the healing, take away everything, if you only get the mentality shift, then you literally got one of the biggest gems, from it all. I would say it reminded me a lot of the power of affirmations, which I felt like I was really undermining. I didn't really think much of them. I'm just like, okay, they're fluffy words, but it really helps you to see the way that you're thinking and the way that you could positively be rewiring your own thoughts. Often you might underestimate the discussions that it initiates, and like it might bring up some things, Like for me, it brought up many things that I felt like I wasn't ready to address at the time, but it was also what I needed to hear, what I needed to see in order to make the changes that I needed to make in my own personal life to become a better person. Work on my character, work on the way that I was towards others, or the things that I had been keeping in, storing in different parts of my body, that I had gotten from just interactions and different things that were going on at the time. It's like places I was holding energy and blockages that were manifesting in different ways, stopping me from realizing, I would say, my potential, and different expressions of creativity. So I think that was something that I felt like is really big. I haven't heard anybody speak to that yet, but I'm sure they do. And I would say, oh, excuse me. One of the things I also appreciate is the way that it encourages you to help others by rewiring the way that you think. You think, who can I help and how? You know, because it's like it's easy to help yourself, but but the way that it's built, it encourages you to want to share that with others. And I start thinking about the people around me, and every time they tell me, "Oh, I've got this going on, I've got that going on," I'm like, "Yo, we got something for that. Let's talk. We'll figure it out." And it's like the sky is the limit. Anything is possible. You don't feel so limited anymore. And I think that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing that I feel like has been taken away from a lot of people, especially right now during this time. And to regain that, to keep that in mind, that you are unlimited, is something that is priceless. And I would say, mm, just on a thorough level, my dad always taught me to be very specific with my goals, my intentions, and make them measurable. And I think one thing that the genius does really well is helping you to understand the power behind your intentions and how to set intentions properly. Even little things, not using the word want. It's kind of like we say, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, and you stay in this energy of just wanting, but you never actually internalize the feeling of having the thing. Therefore, you are always in the energy of wanting. It's the way that you speak. It's the way that you, like, words being spells being spelling, being the way that you speak to the universe, your dialogue. It's something that you don't necessarily learn in school, but to be able to see it laid out in front of you, have a community of people who can help reteach you the ways, to be able to initiate that dialogue. It helps you manifest things better, which is, again, priceless. you know. I would say I really love how spiritual you can get with it. You could be spiritual, you can be woo woo, or you can get really sciencey and anatomical if you want to get. You will find what you're looking for, and I found a lot of things that I was looking for, and I'm still finding new things every day that surprise me. As you can see, I just got the light wrist, you know. So we're taking it up a notch soon, and I'll report back when I got more to say about this. I haven't used it yet, it literally just came in the mail, so I'm excited to get into using the PEMF stuff, to really supercharge it. But I would say, just to end off, one of the biggest things is it helped me channel my spiritual awakening during this time. And it's something that was positive and shareable. And I think that's something that um, it's kind of like it took the best of all of these hard truths and what they had to offer and helped turn it into something where it's like, okay, this is the way that we can use this to help the world and change the world, and I'm very, very grateful for that, because I think coming into a lot of this and awakening and just feeling just angry, feeling sad, feeling like, why is all this happening, why are things the way that they are, is kind of like you want to feel like you can do something about it. And this was a way where I felt like, okay, this is opening up a door into a positive direction where people can start to understand that, hey, we have these kinds of things. We've been had these kind of things, and now things are changing. This is a tidal wave of new energy, and I can only say I hope you're ready. So that's all I have to say today. Big love to everybody in the team, everybody working on this project, everybody behind the scenes, names known and unknown, I'm sure. Um, yeah, I'll leave it off on that. Love y'all. Till next time.